Hey, Brennan here, back with another video. And in this one, I'm going to be looking at a couple custom blocks that I've been playing around with in Pinegrow. And you can see I have a sort of like review block that has some conditional stars and some inner blocks and some various WordPress actions and things like that. And it's using Tailwind. So it's just got a bunch of different things going on. So I figured I'd just kind of show how I built it and, just kind of talk through it and see what happens here. So I'm going to go back to my edit mode and I can click on my custom block. It's just called star rating card. And I can change the star rating. And so this is using display visibility block conditions for displaying SVGs and empty SVGs. And so I was just looking for an easy way to give clients, like a somewhat interactive and, building block that they can use, within their site. So I'm not using this on production sites yet, but I'm just kind of playing around with it. So uh, the other cool thing is that they've got inner blocks here, right? So I can come in and add new blocks and do like add after, and it's going to give me only a couple options. So I've limited the blocks that clients can put in. So some guardrails in here, so they can only add like lists or videos, images, or a paragraph, right? So I've limited that in Pinegrow. Let's just take a quick look at what I've got here. So here's just my block here, my star rating card, right? And then we have a block attribute for the stars. We'll get into that in a little bit. We've got just a title here. Instead of product name, we could do, like review name or whatever. And I can export that and go back here, save, refresh. And now it's my star rating, right? So it's updating in real time as I export this. And oops, I have it open somewhere else too. So that's basically what's going on. And then this intersection is inner content, right? So it's allowing blocks to be put in there. And here I've restricted it to the core video, paragraph, list, and image. All right. So I figured let's just like jump in and like rebuild this, and I can show you kind of how it works. It's pretty easy to set up. So I will close this. Let's go back and we'll open Pinegrow. And I'm just going to do a new project. And we'll do a blank project, and I'll turn to the dark side for this one and use Tailwind. It's been kind of nice just having a little UI for Tailwind, right? So right now I'm just going to save this, and we'll call this like star rating card as my project. You could probably name this like, custom blocks if you're gonna have multiple blocks in your plugin. But basically, we're just gonna make a custom block plugin, and we'll see how it works. All right. All right, so before we start building, let's get the project activated. So I will hit activate WordPress because we're going to make a custom block plugin, right? So let's just call this star rating. I guess star rating. I guess that's the name. And then it'll create the slug, right? And we can just ignore all the other settings. So we'll just save this. And basically now we need to, oh, I misnamed it. That's okay. Star rating. Here we go. And let's just throw in a couple things. So for our card, we're just going to need a div. And within that div, let's put a h3 in there. Within the div, let's also add a paragraph or something like that. And we'll add another div for the star rating wrapper. And then I should be able to search for like SVG. Yeah. And it says, sorry, it doesn't support. Go ahead and refresh, and there it shows up. So let's before we do any like real work here, let's just let's get our star ratings in real quick. Let's go. I'm gonna go to Icon Buddy and just copy one of these SVGs here. So then I'll do I'm gonna insert, and I'm gonna paste the SVG there. Then I should be able to drag it in. Okay, perfect. So what else we got? We're gonna need more stars than that. Let's also grab I guess let's grab a full star. Full color star, like this one. Copy the SVG. Insert. Okay. All right, now the two of these, I'm going to multi-select, hold the Shift or Control, and then I can go to Tailwind and, well, let's see, it's got HTML attributes here. So can I just do like 25? 25? Yeah. Okay, so we don't need CSS for that, I guess. Okay, so okay, and then let's get the color in the star here. So what color are star icons in web design? Well, let's grab this hex code here. Why not? Now I will edit the code of the SVG, and instead of current color, you can just paste that in, right? Same with this. Probably not the best way to do this, so anyway, it should work. So we've got our stars. Now we can duplicate this 4 times and duplicate that 4 times. And okay, so let's just quickly put a little bit of styling on here. Go to layout, or let's put a little padding in here. So I can just click in here to get all my Tailwind values, right? So here we go. So let's make sure this is also flexing a little bit. Let's go flex that way. So I'm just going to export this now. And we're going to go to our front end. And we're going to activate our star rating card, right? So this is the custom plugin we've just made. I'll activate that. Let's go to pages. Let's make a new page called star rating. Okay, and we will enter our star rating card. That's our old one. I already have one called star rating card. I didn't turn this into a block. That's our problem. So let's go back so we don't confuse ourselves. I know this is probably confusing viewers, but that's okay. I'm going to turn off our custom block one. Let's make my test one. We have this star rating card that doesn't have any blocks in it though, because we go into Pinegrow, we don't have any blocks. So what I need to do is go to the WordPress actions here and turn this into a block. And we'll call this star rating demo. The other one was star rating card. This one's just going to be star rating demo. Star rating demo card is going to be the name of it. And we'll add one block attribute first. So now we can just assign like what attributes we want to be able to modify within that block. So I can just hit block attribute, and we're going to call this the review title, something like that. And we'll leave that as content. And let's go ahead and save this and export. All right, so we still have our star rating plugin, custom plugin that we've been making. Let's go back into our pages. Let's go star rating. And now I should see star rating demo card. All right, so there it is. So perfect. We have everything is exactly as we want. The only thing we made editable is this, and you can tell when I click on it, it's got the little cursor there, right? And then you can also see it over here in the side column. Okay, so let's add a couple more things in Pinegrow. So we could add, before we get to the stars, let's just add like another block down below with some paragraph text. And this could be like, well, I don't know. We don't have to do anything with it, but I just want to show you in real time. Like if I export that, then let's save this first, refresh. It's going to have me do a block recovery because I've added some content to the block. I hit block recovery. There's my other paragraph below the star rating. Okay, so that is working as expected. So what else can we do with this block? Let's turn this paragraph here into block inner content. Okay, and then here's where you can define like what blocks you allowed as inner content. So let's just save this. Let's just refresh. That's fine. Attempted block recovery, and now that paragraph text is gone, but now I have the ability to add blocks. And I can add anything in here. But you don't necessarily want to, we already have a heading 3 here. Maybe we don't want to be able to, we want to restrict what kind of content goes in here, right? So we can go into Pinegrow and we can say for our inner content block, we can say only allow paragraph blocks in core. You can only allow like list, core /image, And so now export those, save, back here. And when I click on the inner content block, I can hit add, and I can only have those three options, right? So I can only add paragraph text, I can only add an image. You get the idea. So you can kind of restrict what people can do. So let's do a couple more things in our styling here. Let's go to our block and let's go back to our styling tab, and we will, let's see, let's go to, yeah, we can display flex and then have it flex down. And then we can come down to our gap somewhere, like down here. I can put a little gap in between all the items. Let's, go like 4, something like that. And just like that, we're styling it up a little bit. And what else can we do? We could do like, we could do a background color. We could make it pure white. We could do some like borders. I don't know, what else? What do we want to do here? You do like 1 pixel border and solid and make it like gray 300. Let's see what that looks like. And so now our styling should be exported to the block. Go ahead and save this and refresh, and we'll recover it. And I don't see any styling here. Let's go to the front end. Don't see any styling. So what are we missing? Make sure we export the plugin and save. Okay. So looks like we don't have any styles attached necessarily for the block. So what can we do? I think I can go to the block settings here for WordPress and do style, Tailwind. What is it? Go to my files, go to Tailwind theme, Tailwind theme / tailwind.css. See if that works, and we'll export that. And now we have our styling for Tailwind. So now I've got the padding, I've got that white background, I've got the border. So everything working as expected. Now let's get to the fun part, the star ratings. So the stars are going to be, we're going to use block conditions. Okay. Actually, Pinegrow themselves have a great video about this. That's more or less just what I'm going to show you. So what we're going to do is select all of these, the first 5, the full stars, and we're going to go to block condition, and we're going to set conditions on these blocks. And before that, we need to actually create an attribute on our parent block. So we go to our parent block here, and we have the name of the block, and then we have, we don't have block attributes, right? So let's add a block attribute, and we'll call this star rating. Okay. And we're going to use as none. Okay. And then we're going to open the attribute settings, and we're going to add basically the values here. So control type, we're going to change it to select, so that if there's a drop down, right? So the 1 star is going to equal 1 for the data attribute, right? 2 is going to equal 2, 3 is going to equal 3, and so on. And we're going to use these to display our SVGs for the stars. Okay, so now that we have this block attribute made, we can go to our block conditions, and we can say show show these things. So I'm going to select all 5 of these filled stars, and I'll select, now we have our star rating here. Okay, and we're going to show all of them. So I'm going to apply 1, and that should apply it to all of them. And then we need to choose our operator. So we want to show all the first star if the value is equal to or larger than 1, because if it's 2 stars, we also want to show it, right? So we can select larger or equal to, and that's going to put the 1 value on all of them. But what we want to do is make sure we go on the second one and do 2, the third one and do 3, and so on. Okay. So that's perfect. And then we're going to do the same thing, but sort of the opposite logic. So we're going to come and select all of the empty stars and do block condition. And again, we're going to target the star rating, and we'll do 1. And then we're going to choose an operator. And this one, instead of larger or equal, we're going to just choose smaller. because we don't want to show any of them if all the stars are filled in. So you don't do smaller or equal to. Okay, so then the same thing where we're going to, the first one, second one, we're going to change the value to 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So then we've got, that's basically our block visibility. All right, so then let's export this. Let's go back to our review card. I'll make sure to save this and refresh. And again, we've changed the content of the block, so it's going to do a block recovery. And there we have our star rating here on the side. And so now I can select 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it's going to show the empty SVG based on the condition because it's smaller than 4. It's going to show that last empty star there. So pretty cool stuff to be able to do that. I notice also when it's defaulting, it doesn't show any, right? So we can come back to our block, and we could say, let's go back to our main block here where we set the values. And for default value, we could set the default value to like 4 or something. So then it'll show 4 stars. Let's make sure to save, and I will refresh. And again, we have to do the block recovery, but there we can see the default value is now 4. Okay. So fantastic. We can leave it like this. If you don't want to have them do like actually add core blocks, if you want to just restrict it to like a text area, you can go back to, instead of inner content, we can delete this, and we could change it to a block attribute. And we could say, let's just have it as like a text value. So like review content, and it'll show up on the right-hand side. So we're going to control the content, and then the control type, I can change it to like an input, and you'll see the problem with that when I refresh. We can see the review content is just a single line input right there. So you can go back and you can do, instead of an input, let's do a text area. Okay. And now it's like a little box that you can look at here. So you can fill that in, and that is basically the custom block in WordPress with Pinegrow with a conditional star rating select button. So pretty cool stuff. It's been cool to just check out the capabilities of Pinegrow in terms of like what you can just really give people the option to do. And so that's basically all I wanted to show. I'm also going to just quickly go back to, because I'm using Tailwind right here. One of the benefits is that I can go to something like Tailwind, and I'm not going to spend the whole time doing this because you know this is basically the video's over. but what I'm going to do is I can go to Flowbyte or any of these like Tailwind libraries. They have a bunch of components, and here's like a a rating comment or whatever. So I can actually copy the code for that and go back to Pinegrow, and I can insert this and copy that and then drag it in, and it's going to have more or less all the styling from Tailwind. You can go in and make these into blocks, right? So pretty cool to be able to paste that in and have it just work. So you can go in and start making this into another block, right? So you could say do the same thing for these stars, for this date. You could say like the post date, so it's like the actually brings in the date from WordPress that it was actually posted. So you could do like the avatar here. I think there's like get avatar, so you could show like the WordPress avatar. Let's just show it real quick. I think I need to like remove the source for that broken image that I don't even have in here. But now it's going to do like the avatar. So if I save that and then let's also just turn this into a block real quick, so you can see how quick it is to make blocks. So block, this would be like long review card, something like that. And yeah, so like you could change whatever you want, right? So export that, go back and refresh, and I can there's my long review card. So there's my review card right there. It doesn't show my image right there, but let's see if I go to the front end. There we go. So it's got my my avatar from WordPress. It's not looking too pretty. It's not really styled or anything, but I just wanted to just briefly go over like how you would import stuff like that into Pinegrow. And yeah, we've got our custom block done here. So anyway, that is just a quick little look at making a custom block, kind of how easy it can be, and yeah, hopefully this is kind of interesting for you. Let me know in the comments. Love to hear your thoughts. Are you making custom blocks? Are you doing it with Pinegrow? Are you doing it with something else? Maybe you don't see the need for custom blocks. I mean, some of this stuff you can just obviously do in the block editor, but yeah, anyway, there you have it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.